one of the best operating systems, if you're trying to run Express LRS, is EdgeTX. We covered the big news recently that EdgeTX had upgraded to 2.5, which is, I've sort of made the call that EdgeTX is ready for prime time. My radios are on EdgeTX now. Yay. And we have some big news about the EdgeTX development team.
Yeah, so EdgeTX has started basically an open collective, a group fund, and they have announced partners. FlySky and RadioMaster have announced to be official EdgeTX partners. And basically what that'll mean is they'll directly support the radios, talk directly to manufacturers. They'll give them priority bug fixes, make sure that nightlies and releases are all working on the hardware and stuff. And basically in return, those companies will supply devs with a reasonable number of the handsets or whatever they need. And then they'll also provide a monthly or annual donation that they'll agree on. And they'll provide any technical information to make sure they can help support it. So essentially, it's just like, hey, give us a little money so that we know you care and you're going to be in this. Then we'll make sure we support your stuff and you can use our logos, and your radios can come with EdgeTX. So.
Yeah, hold on a second. I have to pause, Blunty. People in the chat are freaking out about. Some people are freaking out about the 1,000 ruble donation. One person said, "I could buy all my dream quads with that money." 1,000 rubles is about $15 US. So thank you for the donation, Sergey Romanov. I don't know how much 1,000 rubles is if you're Russian. Maybe it's like $1,000, in which case, massive thank you. But people in the chat are freaking out like someone made $1,000 donation. I assure you, I would stop the whole stream and freak out myself if I was $1,000 donation. So if I'm not freaking out, it's not. That's why. Anyway, speaking of money, Blunty, I think that's the big concern with this EdgeTX partnership. I remember when I found out that one of the OpenTX devs had been hired to do consulting or development work for FreeSky. And then later, there were some decisions made by the OpenTX project, which some people interpreted them as being beneficial to FreeSky and harmful to some of their competitors. And there was an appearance of a conflict of interest. Let's just say it as neutrally and charitably as possible. So now we've got this situation where the EdgeTX devs are receiving money. Are they getting donations? Getting hardware, I think, is just standard. You need hardware to test. Are they getting money?
Yes. Part of the requirements is, provide a monthly or annual donation agreed upon by the EdgeTX team to help defray the cost of online build systems, events, and other administrative expenses. So I believe it's going into an open collective account. I think that's the same thing FPV Out Club does as well, where it all goes into a fund, and then the group members can decide how to spend that fund. I believe that's how it works.
That's better than them paying a specific person who can then just cockblock the entire project. I mean, that's so when I first heard about this, my first reaction was, yeah, okay, people, open source developers doing valuable work, manufacturers actually kicking something in instead of just taking their work. And I mean, despite the fact that most of the time open source developers are completely fine and happy with companies making money off their stuff. They just do it because they want to. It's nice when companies actually kick back and pay their share. At the same time, if it ends up with preferential treatment or anti-competitive practices, that becomes a real problem. And I guess we just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I think how it's presented here and what the initial deal looks like, it seems like it's positive and it'll be positive for the whole community. But yeah, it remains to be seen where everything goes. We'll just have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, L. Leston says, does that mean EdgeTX won't support FreeSky radios? Right? That would be a problem. That would be a problem if they suddenly stopped supporting FreeSky radios for no good reason. That would be a problem.
Sure.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the indications are that none of that will happen, but we will keep an eye on that and let you know if it does.
Yeah. And then someone will fork EdgeTX into something else. I don't know.